Hey, what's up everybody? It's Victor over here at the Fishroom. Welcome back to another Tankful Thursday. This week we're going to go over my plans for how I'm going to move my fish room from my apartment to the new basement. So the idea is that I need to set up some tanks there beforehand so that I can move these fish that I have here, there. So this week I'm going to go over what my plan is. Then next week I'm actually going to show you guys moving the big tank, setting it up at the new location, getting it ready for fishing. And then the week after that, I'm going to show you guys how I move the rest of the fish room. So it's going to be a little series on how to move a fish room into a new location. So stay tuned and find out more. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm getting over a bit of a cold. Those strep throat over there, that was bad. Alright guys, so one of the biggest changes I'm going to be doing to my fish room is I'm going to be consolidating my Discus and my electric blue cars into one tank, which is going to be my 210 gallon. I'm going to be setting it up with my FX5 that's currently on my 125 gallon tank, and I have my FX6 sitting right over there. The idea is that I want these guys to be in a bare bottom tank in a community of South American fish. I'm going to eventually use my 125 gallon tank for my Bosemani Rainbow, and then I don't know what I'm going to do with my 150. I hope you guys can see over here, they have laid eggs. Let me get that for you. So as you can see, my Discus here finally laid eggs. Unfortunately, it was this female with one of the males that, I think he's the big one back here. I don't know why he's not over here, but they spawned. As you can see, there are just a lot of unfertilized eggs. She's being a good mama. He's not being a good daddy. But this is the second time they've spawned, and I'm not sure if I'm going to separate them out because this is going to be a hybrid pair. This is a captive bred fish, while the other one is F1 from a wild blue, I'm pretty sure, from Hans Discus. I know it's a Hans fish, and he got this he got this fish a while ago, and I was able to find it from a fish keeper down in Virginia who had grown these guys out. Now he has a pair of them and he's breeding them. And you can see there's the male with her now. Kind of spooked them over to go protect his eggs. So I don't know, it might look cool. Let me know what you guys think. You know, should I let them breed? Should I pull them out? I'm conflicted. I don't know what to do. Alright guys, so I just wanted to remind you of my goal throughout this whole thing. I still want to keep my Bosemani Rainbow, I still want to keep my Discus and my electric blue car. Aside from that, my goal in my fish room is to keep and breed fish that I'm going to be able to keep in my fish bowls. I'm really going to be exploring making different shapes and sizes of my fish bowls, so I'm going to need different fish to keep in them. I'm going to try to be making 5, 6, 7 gallon bowls that I can put some, maybe a very small school of something in there. I really want to put a school of fish in one of my fish bowls. I really want to do that. And if I make it wide enough, have enough flow, I think it'll be possible to do it. Now, I got to choose the right fish. That way, they don't feel crammed. I got to choose the right bowl. That way it's not a tall bowl, it's got to be wide, it's got to have a lot of surface area, a lot of flow. So I got to build it properly. So there's got to be a lot of experimentation in creating these bowls so they're perfect for these creatures. I do not like cramming tiny fish into tiny environments. I like putting, very little fish in big tanks. I like seeing them swim. That's why I want to put these guys in 125. That's why I want to put little tiny schooling fish in the 75 gallon. And that's why I want to put my Discus and my electric cars in an even bigger tank, because I feel they're so crammed, and they really do behave differently when you give them more space. They feel more at home. I don't know, it just changes something in their head. It's like, when you put in like a little jail cell versus when you're given like the king suite at a hotel, you feel differently. You just start acting differently. I mean, the same thing goes to fish. They're gonna be happier in a better environment. So that's what I want to try to give them. The idea behind that is like, you go to Walmart, you have a little 1 gallon bowl that people are buying unfiltered, and they're keeping betas in these things, man. I mean, I'm trying to create a new market where, you know, you buy a 3, 4, 5, I don't know, maybe even a 7 gallon bowl for me, and you keep in your beta in that, and it's filtered and planted and properly cycled, and the fish is healthy and happy and not in a tiny little jail cell, a little glass cage, you know? We want to make our fish happy. And that's my goal in kind of my new endeavor. Okay, so these guys deserve their own tank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this entire scape, all of this substrate, into the 125. And I'm going to make an Iwagumi landscape out of the 125. So I'm going to be breaking down this tank and also putting the plants that I currently have in my old 75 from the Lipicormus Matumi Hunters, which are now gone. So all these plants that are currently in there have a little bit of water in there so they don't dry out. All these plants are going to go with these plants into the 125 gallon right there for escape for those fish. I'm most likely going to do a guppy or endler tank in a 75 gallon, and then I'm going to leave these long 33s mostly for just breeding shrimp. All of my schooling fish I might just put in a 75 gallon unless I have a specific species like the ones in there, and like these ruby tetras that I specifically want to save for a specific scape. This 40 gallon here that I had my Central American cichlids in is going to be the tank that I do for the big fish deal. I'm going to scape this tank properly within the next month and then let it grow out to be what is going to be what I enter into the big fish deal competition. So I'll kind of show you guys what I'm going to be doing with that when it gets closer, because I don't want to be showing you guys everything. This rack is going to be gone. All these tanks, this 29, the 20, and the 20, they're going to go. I'm not going to have space for them. I'm getting rid of a whole bunch of tanks. I have 4 10 gallons and a 75 over here. So if you're looking for tanks and you're around the DC metro area, hit me up. I got tanks. I am keeping my 30 gallon. So yeah, that's kind of what's going to happen with the fish room. I'm going to consolidate a lot of stuff, and I'm going to see where it goes from there. I'm going to be making more fish bowls, and we'll see where that goes. You guys can see that the growth on this fish bowl is amazing. Look how many plants are growing out of this freaking bowl. It's amazing. It's only 2 different plants though. It's water wisteria and water sprite, and nothing else has really come close to reaching out of the tank, but yeah, they're doing great. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already, because I'll be pushing out updates on this move and how I'm going to do it, and you'll find out a lot more throughout this series. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I usually like to leave 1 tank or at least 2 tanks empty. Go ahead beforehand, set them up. That's not always an option though. My first big move, which when I came from Salisbury to Rockville, Maryland, it was a 3-hour drive. I had all the fish in buckets, and I had, you know, scramble everything up and set it all up. I ended up losing a few fish. The scapes weren't as good because I didn't spend as much time. This move is going to be a little bit better planned, where I'm going to be setting up a tank, getting it pristine, good, and then moving the fish into it. I don't want to hurry myself. I don't want to rush this process because I'm setting up an environment that I'm not going to want to touch for a while. I want to do this right, and I'm going to be setting up an auto drip system coming in from the ceiling. So I'll be showing you all of that to you guys next week. So stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys.